Well, ladies and gentlemen, so this is a Friday Boganza video. The Friday Boganza video means this is a chill video. This is where you should sit in front of a couch, evening time, have your favorite beverage with you, and just relax. Because after this video, you just want to fall asleep and ponder about this video in your dreams. And yes, today's subject is going to be about why were you born as the ascendant as you were? Why are you born as a certain ascendant, as a certain lagna, as a certain rising sign in astrology? Have you ever thought about this? See, we as astrology lovers, we are always looking at our chart, okay? And I was the same way. Like, okay, this is my ascendant. All right, what does my ascendant means? Okay, well, it means this. Where is my ascendant Lord placed? Oh, it's placed here. What does that mean? Oh, that's where my life focus is. Great. We try to find out about the chart. But what we forget to find out is, why did I get this ascendant from the universe? Why did universe said that at this particular time you are going to be born? So that means you're going to have this particular ascendant. So this is the question that I want to answer. The reason behind you being born as a certain ascendant, and what are some of the things that you can get out of, being born a certain ascendant? And as always, if you do not know what ascendant you are, what rising sign you have, what lagna you have, which is the same thing, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction Aspects, and my new book, Mahadashas at the Speed of Light, including all my consultations at this link. So let's discuss about our ascendant video. So the way we can put this about the ascendant is, imagine you went to a doctor, okay? And the doctor did a checkup. And imagine this process of doctor, the time between your death and the next birth. So doctor's looking at your thing and they're saying, well, you are iron deficient in your body. You have an iron deficiency in your body. And you're going to have to either take iron pills, eat a lot of green vegetables, eat red meat to balance this out. Same way, when you're born as a certain ascendant, that means you were deficient of something in your past life. And because that deficiency could not be cured in past life, could not be fulfilled in past life, this is why you're here, to fulfill that part of your mission, fulfill that part of your desire. Remember, universe was created as a desire by Vishnu. He wanted to create something. So he created Brahma. Throughout Brahma, this universe came about. Same thing, the same thing is happening with us. Whatever's above, so below. However the universe operates on a Fibonacci level, it's happening with us too. So when we die and we're not able to fulfill certain desires, those desires are stored in our Akashic records, our memory, which is the moon. Okay? And these storages, then once you are dead, you come in front of Yama and they review your entire life. They show you the bad, the good, the ugly. They also show you the things that you forgot to fulfill. And then they ask you, do you need to fulfill these things? Like, yeah, I want to fulfill these things. So then what happens is your soul is reborn as a certain ascendant, because that particular ascendant represents what you were deficient in. So you can always remember what your mission is in this life. That is why, that is the main reason behind having a certain ascendant on a more basic level. If you want to go now from this basic level to advanced level, then you want to ask yourself is this: why was I born in a certain degree? Why is this planet in this particular house and not the other house? Then you go into much deeper level. Okay? But mainly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover all 12 ascendants and show you the deficiencies that you were facing in past life, and you're here to kind of deal with those deficiencies. Now, this doesn't mean that you're going to fulfill those deficiencies. If you had material desires from past life, that does not mean you're here to fulfill them, or you will get them fulfilled. It's just that you're here to fulfill them again. Now, how to escape this cycle of desire and being reborn is to not have desire. Simple. That's the easiest solution. So if you have a desire to become famous, you have a desire to have a Bentley, you have a desire to be admired by millions of people and to live in a huge bungalow, okay, well then you go fulfill it. But if you don't fulfill that and you die, you are going to come back again to fulfill that. Because that desire is the strongest thing, strongest vibration in the universe. And that vibration sticks to you. It attaches to you like shadow. So one of the best thing is, regardless of the ascendant, have no desires. Or have desires that you know that can be fulfilled. Well, my desire is to eat rice. Of course, you can go buy rice, eat rice. Simple desires. Okay, so first of all, let's say if you were born as an Aries ascendant. And I'll cover all the way from Aries to Libra, but there's going to be a trick where you won't even need to go anywhere past Libra. So let's say you were born as an Aries ascendant. What is the thing that you desired in past life? What is the deficiency in you? Well, the deficiency in you didn't take care of yourself. You didn't take care of your body. You didn't take care of your health. You didn't take care of who you were as a person, your appearance. You were all about focusing on other people. You were focused on other people. You were focused on marriage. You were dealing with situations related to marriage, relationships. And that pretty much took your entire life away. Perhaps you got a bad spouse in a relationship where all you had to do was just work, provide for them, and not worry about yourself. Then at the end, either when you went to the yama or towards the end of your life, when you were about to die, you were like, oh my God, I didn't give myself the attention. I wanted to work out. I had the worst body shape. I didn't take care of my health. I've always been dealing with illnesses. What in the world did I do in this life? You see the moment and the end of your life when you're in the deathbed and you're saying within your sleep or in your coma or just out loud to the people that you love that, I really wanted to do this. Well, then what happens is you come back in the next lifetime to be able to fulfill this. So now as an Aries ascendant, you're more about yourself. My needs, me. I need to be taking care of my body. I want to look perfect. I want to look, just professional out there. Even if I go and get a coffee from somewhere, I just want to look all dashing, and I want people to be taking notice of me and see how smart I am, see how everything I am. And that becomes that ability to fulfill that deficiency is to focus on yourself. Stop focusing on other people all the time. Stop focusing on your marriage all the time. If your marriage is not providing you with the balanced approach, then you need to focus more on yourself. Because again, you're running into that same cycle. Because remember, your mission in this life is to fulfill the needs of this ascendant. That's the number one thing. This is why ascendant becomes the most important point. Without it, you don't exist. Remember, without ascendant, you don't exist. If there was no ascendant, there's no you. Planets can be anywhere. You were born. That means you were born on a certain ascendant. That means you were born on this plane where this zodiac sign was rising on the east. East is a sign of God, Paramatma. The soul that desired was rising. Same thing if you look at Taurus. Simple. This is no magic. If you're born as a Taurus ascendant, that means what happened in the past life. There was no security in your life. There was no financial security. There was no security through family. There was no security of nourishment. You couldn't save any money. You always went through great ups and downs, major ups and downs, transformation. Sometimes you'll have a great luck, then the next minute it was taken away from you. There was no healthy nourishment. There was no ability to enjoy life, have fine foods, fine wine that you desired by looking at other people. So in this life, the energy of universe said, okay, we're going to give you a mindset where you can be able to achieve this. Because in past life, you were a person, because look at the ascendant opposite to you. Those were the things you were dealing with in past life. You were too focused on those things. You were going through all about research, all about transformation, all about paying your karmic debt. And you perhaps paid so much karmic debt by being a Scorpio ascendant is that you didn't have the time to fulfill your needs. Perhaps you were involved in occult, mysticism. You always wanted to research on astrology, and you didn't care about your family. You didn't care about your spouse. You didn't care about your mother and father. You were just all about astrology or science or research. So now, at the end of your life, you were like, oh my God, I've done all this research and I have nothing to show for. I can't even buy, a coffin for myself. Man, I wish I could fulfill this desire. That desire stayed with you. You became a Taurus ascendant. So now you're all about, how do I have security in life? You're all about, how do I invest money so I can grow money? Occult mysticism, fine, whatever. I'll go to an astrologer one day. My focus is, how do I provide for my family? How do I enjoy my family life? How do I enjoy through my people of my family, the near and dear ones? That's what happens. Take any zodiac sign, go Gemini. You were too focused on being a scholar in your past life. You were too focused on being a teacher, counselor, advisor. You forgot to have fun. You forgot to be youthful. You forgot to be a kid in this life. You weren't curious about anything. You were just curious about what was given to you through Shastra, through your family lineage. And then at the end of your life, you're like, I've been doing all this work. I've been a great person, great scholar, everything. But I just miss my childhood. I wish I could just be a kid again. I just want to be a kid again. I don't want to do all this work. Well, then that desire sticks with you. Now you're as a Gemini ascendant. You're curious about things. You want to manifest things. You want to be creative. You want to be social. The childishness within you doesn't go away. Cancer. Well, in your past life, you were too focused on your image, too focused on your career, your reputation, being an authoritative figure, too focused on government, being a leader of the government, that you forgot to take care of your own home and your mother and your family. You had no emotions for them. You thought that you working 18 hours a day, you're taking care of your family. Where when your kid needed you at the basketball game, when your kid needed you at the recital, you weren't there because you were stuck in the office. In this life, you desired at the end of your life, or when you were in front of Yama looking at all the bad and worst that you did, you're like, my goodness, I forgot to take care of my family. I forgot to be attached to them. I forgot to, get the love from my mother who always called me to come over, and I never went. So now you're born as a Cancer ascendant, to be with family, to be with them 24/7, to provide for them, to not work for the government or the system that was put in place for you, to work with your emotions, to work for the people that you love the most. Leo and Aquarius axis. You become a Leo person because you didn't pay attention to your creative self-expression. You always, in past life, were part of a large organization where you were looking out for social welfare, social reform. You were all about, how do I help society? How do I manage things? How do I create things so I can bring electricity to this village, or I can bring water to this village? How do I do this, and this? Yet, you really realized that life was all about creative self-expression. Life is all about dealing with children, having fun, playing sports, doing creative artistic things. And maybe in your end of life, you were like, I really wish I could have written that great novel, or I really wanted to be an actor. I don't know, how I ended up in this profession. I really wanted to, be admired by people and not just be doing work for everybody and not be appreciated for anything. I wish that I could be creative like my brother, who's a great painter, artist. I cannot even draw a stick figure. Well, then what happens is you're born as a Leo person. You're here to get the full attention. You're here to express yourself creatively, artistically. You look at Virgo. Pisces is opposite of Virgo. So you're born as a Virgo ascendant. In past life, you weren't really caring for anything. You were all about wanting to just escape things. You were all about being disorganized. You took everything in a very eccentric manner. You dealt with the relationship based on the ability to escape from those things. You look for relationships, career, so you can escape things in life. So you can be isolated in life. You ran away from whenever there was some trouble and problem in dealing with people. And remember, if you're a Pisces ascendant and you're saying, well, I want to help people, I want to do this and I want to do that. Remember, this is not to blame on somebody. This is not to say, hey, this was a bad thing you did, so now you're here to do this. No, it's nothing about that. It's about you simply having the desire to do something. This is why you were reborn, to fulfill a certain desire, to pay a certain karma. So karma and desire are going hand in hand. In past life, there was this great need to just escape all the problems, not deal with anything, not wanting to call anybody whenever they're in trouble, you just wanted to just be on LSD and just be in a very elusive world. You wanted to be a flower child. But then at the end of your life, you must have been like, you know what? All my life I did this and I could have helped people. All my life I could have served people. I could have healed people. Instead of being, wandering in my life, just doing things just for the sake of it, I could have just had a purpose of helping people who are suffering. I never paid any attention to details. I was never critical about anything in my life, and this is why I ended up the way I am. And this does not mean that a Pisces ascendant cannot be successful. Pisces ascendant will be successful, maybe have no desires, they will escape. They won't need to come back as a Virgo. But what happens is, now you're back as a Virgo because now you want to give yourself in service to other people. You want to be able to heal people. You want to be able to manage things, help an organization manage something. You're here to take care of health. Maybe in past life as a Pisces ascendant, you were aloof about everything, including your health. Your health suffered. And you're just like, God will take care of it. Something will take care of it. I'm okay, whatever, don't really care. And then at the end, when people needed you, when your family needed you, you were like, oh my God, I wish I could have actually took care of my health, took care of my heart, or had that operation that I needed and I could have been alive right now. Well, so now that Virgo part takes over. Now you're constantly all about health. You probably go to the doctor 3 times a year. Get your physical done twice a year. So you see how I was saying, with Aries to Libra, you can figure out all the other ascendants. Whatever the opposite is, that's what you were doing, and now you're here to fulfill the other. So this is the reason why you're born as the certain ascendant. But also you got to realize, in certain lifetimes, you're also born as a certain ascendant to not only fulfill a desire, okay? So this is your desire, right? It needs to be fulfilled, but that's not the only reason why you were born. You were born to fulfill the 4 types of karma in this life too. The karma that are being done in this life, the karma that were done in previous life, the karma that were done in 5 to 10 to 500 previous lifetimes. So all these things are together here. And ascendant shows the desire point. Okay? The karma is seen from the planetary placements. Simple. And then you probably will be thinking about moon chart. What about the moon chart? I thought moon chart is also important. Well, yeah. Moon chart really shows, see, if the birth chart is showing you the desire that was unfulfilled that you're here to fulfill, the karma that you are to fulfill in this life and pay in this life is the ascendant. From the moon, you're going to be using your past memories, all the lives that you have lived, all the experiences. Remember, the key word with moon is experience. All the experience that you have gathered in your moon, that's how you're going to be dealing with each aspect of your life. That's how you're going to be perceiving each aspect of your life. So it's a very beautiful, complicated game, and at the same time a simple game. So if you have been doing astrology, you know astrology, this will probably sound like a walk in the park for you. Well, yeah, moon chart will show how I will react to those things that or how I feel about the things that are happening. And through the ascendant is what I'm facing. And also moon mainly is about how you use your experiences of past to deal with those things. Okay? So guys, this is my analysis of why you're born as a certain ascendant. And also in my website, I have the moon and the Navamsha chart reading available, all my books, consultations, reports. But, hopefully this has given a much more simpler reason, or perhaps the question that you never asked, the answer to the question you never asked. See, I'm making up the question for you guys. All right. See ya. Bye-bye.